يومئذ 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 ناعمة 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 Na. Always be careful when you come from a fatha to a ain. Okay? So fatha is clear. Na. Not na. Na. Ima. Ima. Na'ima. And you extend it just a little bit because there's an alif there. Yawma idhin na'ima. We pay attention to the noon, the tanween as it goes into the noon, and I put the shadda there. This is also with a ghunna. Yawma idhin na'ima. Yawma idhin na'ima. But that's what's matlub. For you to make your mistakes here. We say sweat blood. Bust it here. Do it wrong here. Why? Because you get so sensitive when a teacher threatens to hit you and brings it to your attention. You know what I'm saying? So that's when you become sensitive. That's what knowledge is supposed to do, to make you sensitive to mistakes. Remember, the objective here of learning tajweed is to become so sensitive to what is wrong that you shy away from it. Your tongue gets so used to doing it right that when your ear hears it wrong, it's, oh, I can't stand that. What's going on? Some of you probably refuse to pray behind people because you realize it's not even Quran. It's so wrong. You say, I'm not going to pray. Be careful. There's some instances like that. Try to approach people. Again, this is the years of shame on you, not on me. You know? So we need to approach people saying, shame on you. You haven't learned how to recite the Quran this long. You need to stop. Stop putting yourself forward like that and forcing your haram stuff on us. You're forcing us to follow you in the wrong, improper way of reciting the Quran. Why don't you go to somebody? Nobody's perfect. Go to somebody and learn how to recite Quran. And if you think I'm wrong, let's go to somebody you agree on, and we'll see if you're reciting the Quran correctly. Why? Because we have an example of this, a precedence of this. When Umar ibn Khattab saw the man reciting Quran, he couldn't stand it. He couldn't stand it. And he waited till the person finished, and then he said, let's go. We go on to, where'd you learn that from? Who taught you that? And that's what you should ask these people. Who taught you that? Well, they usually find out nobody, the invisible they. That's how we, you know, this no isnad, no chain of narrations of a person bidabt. Well, let's go and find out if that's the proper way you can recite the Quran, because I learned it different. Okay? And what you're doing is not Quran, or it's not proper. Let's go to somebody and recite and learn and see what they say about our reciting. And go to one of the imams, inshallah ta'ala. Established people. Don't go to that imam that's in the alley. Nobody knows him. You don't know who he is, you know. Like Father, we used to talk about Father Muhammad. Who is that guy? You know what I'm saying? He came and he disappeared. Nobody knows who he really was. He could somebody be someplace right now. You know, he could probably be Sheikh Jilani in India someplace or Pakistan. We don't know. So, learn the proper way of reciting the Quran. And when you hear it improperly done, ask the person, you know, who taught you that, and then go with that person to somebody else, and you yourself go learn from somebody. Okay? So, يَوْمَ إِذٍ نَاعِمَةٍ. Raise your sound, your voices. Raise your voices. يَوْمَ إِذٍ نَاعِمَةٍ. Did you hear my ain? Every letter that you say should be distinct. يَوْمَ إِذٍ نَاعِمَةٍ. Too fast, too fast. Don't rush, don't run. Don't get to the noon and jump off it. Don't say يَوْمَ إِذٍ نَاعِمَةٍ. No, it's يَوْمَ إِذٍ نَاعِمَةٍ. Count, count. Okay? Use your fingers. Like you tell children when they first start learning how to read, you tell them count. Count your nose, your eye, you should be counting everything. Until you get good and then you don't have to count anymore. You'll see some teachers sitting there going like this or beating their leg. They're counting. So what about us? يَوْمَ إِذٍ نَاعِمَةٍ. Right. And Arabic is the language of exaggeration. So if you give a little bit more, it's better than giving too little. Okay? I'm not saying go يَوْمَ إِذٍ na'ima. That's wrong. You know, people do that.
Yeah. So when I listen to the Quran, that's what I hear.
Even some people, hey, I'm telling you, wallahi al-azim, some people on the radio that have the sharita, the tapes, they do it wrong. Who am I, right? A lot of people don't. This is the hard part. Because I'm saying sometimes when you hear on the radio, on the CDs that my king gives out, you know, the person might be wrong. Now, let me tell you something. What happens is, you know, what happens sometimes is the sheikh is leading the salah. There's two. I used to work in the studios and used to be editor for the person when they're reciting. And usually my boss used to tell them, don't tell them you're from America, because they don't want to listen to you. They don't want to listen to you give them a mistake if you're from America. You know, when I was in Egypt, so I would tell them, Ana min Mauritania. I'm from Mauritania, meaning I came from Mauritania. You know, Tari, turn people away. But what happens in the studio, you won't find these type of mistakes, because whoever's there, the guy's reciting, he has somebody there reading and checking him. Okay? Reading. Then afterwards, you play it and somebody listens to the whole thing and checks it too. Okay? Now, if the person is leading the salah, like at the Kaaba or different places like that, they're in the salah and they're into it, you know? And so these type of mistakes, they come out like that because the persons get so emotional. This is not considered a major mistake in that regard, like I stated earlier, because they're reciting it. But in the studio, when you can stop, you know, we did, and I'm not trying to say, I'm just trying to, like I said, the Prophet ﷺ, he said that he is going to be the one people come to Yawm al-Qiyamah, and this is no boast. That's what he said. Then we find in the Quran where Yusuf said, I am somebody that's trustworthy, I can handle this. And that wasn't considered bragging. I'm saying some things now about different experiences that I've had in other people, not in the point of bragging, but to make you feel secure. The Quran that you have in the Arabic, English from Abdus-salaam, I edited that whole thing. Okay, where we put the English in the Arabic and put the English in Arabic. And in some places where Sheikh Nader is reciting, he got angry at a certain time and he wouldn't redo certain parts. So I would cut his voice out in one place and put it in another place where he would make like a noon. And I hear it, it sounds crazy terrible to me, but when other people don't notice these types of things, that's what happens in the studio. Okay? So sometimes you hear the guy reciting and he's holding the tone for such a long time and he didn't take a break. That's because we recited that twice. And then we cut out the breath. Okay? We cut the time down and cut out the breath so you wouldn't hear it. So the studio is totally different than the person actually doing it. And that's why you find some of those mistakes where the person gets emotional into it. However, discipline yourselves. You know, if he goes a little extended, he knows it. But it shouldn't be a long, like I exaggerated here. Does that make sense? Yawma idhin na'ima. Yawma idhin na'ima. You bounce off the third one. Yawma idhin na'ima. Yawma idhin na'ima. Okay, let's move on, because I see that some people are coming and he looks like the imam. So the next one is meme, okay? Meme. Everybody say meme. Meme. Meme is easy also. Okay. Here we have min. Everybody say min. Min. Now say malin. Malin. Here you don't recite this right here. You don't even recite it. You won't hear it. You go straight to the meme. Say mim malin. Mim malin. Mim malin. Mim malin. Mim malin. Mim malin. Don't close your lips all the way. Mim, don't make it really close, like it's very small slither. That's what Imam Husri used to do, rahimahullah. Very small slither. Some people close their mouth all the way and say mim automatically. No. But what you do here, because it's a noon, that's the first one, you close your mouth, but it's like very small. Mim, can you see my mouth? Mim malin. You hear it? Mim malin. Okay? Because it's going. So it's a slight opening. Okay? Allahu a'lam. Mim malin. And the other one is siratam mustaqima.